How are you guys all doing this grand morning? Well, we've got some amazing things to discuss this morning about holding our peace, keeping our peace. So let's just take a moment and settle in first of all. It doesn't matter what time you're watching this. It's obviously something you're ready to remember and walk through. But let's just take a moment and settle in. There's no need to rush into understanding any of this. No need to, grasp anything yet either. But just notice your breath. Notice your body. And notice the space you are entering right now. A place of remembering. Just put our hands on our heart and we'll just say, body, mind, soul, being of the fallen matrix, the shadow matrix, the fallen mindset. We say deactivate, turn off. We say the mind, body, and soul and being of the divine, the original blueprint of our designs. Fully activate, fully on. So, because we want to speak about something important today. And it's actually something that silently shapes our entire lives. Not our intelligence, not even your success. And not even your discipline. And not your things that you do, but your ability to remain undisturbed. See, the one thing is about awakening when we've walked through the depths of our shadows. When we've come to the depths of peace. We'll never let anything else disturb that. Doesn't mean we don't have our moments. But there's truth that most people never learn. See, the fool does not need to defeat you. You want to know what they only need to do is disturb you. Even get you thinking outside of your peace for a moment. That's just enough. See, they don't need better logic. And they don't need deeper wisdom. They only need one thing. Access to your attention. So one unfair accusation even, they could throw out. One confident lie. One careless opinion spoken with certainty. Or one demand that they believe they're going to get access to you. And suddenly, you feel it. Something rises inside of you. A need to correct. A need to defend. A need to restore truth. But let me break it to you. In that moment, the moment you lean forward, the moment you give them your energy and time, the moment you begin to explain, you begin to argue, or you begin to engage. And that is the moment your peace is gone. Even if you think you have some intellectual response, the moment you even let them have any form of access to your energy, your peace was gone. See, the thing is, once you recognize this, you ain't ever going to let that happen again, or you're going to consistently do the stop thing and recognize it. So now let's understand this deeper, though. From a psychological point of view and perspective, what just happened when you do that, when you lean in and you give them your time? Well, let me tell you, your nervous system was already activated. Right there. Cortisol already started rushing through. The brain has a structure called the amygdala, and its role is not for truth. Its role is survival. So when it perceives a threat, whether physical or social, it triggers a response. And here is what's important. All of a sudden now your amygdala is saying, being misunderstood, being disrespected, being falsely accused. These register in the brain and as threats. So now you are no longer responding from clarity anymore. Your peace is gone. And this is why the arguments feel so intense. Because biologically, you are no longer in a state of reasoning. You are in a state of defense. And when two people are both in defense, truth, it disappears. And only energy remains. So, the question becomes, if someone pulls you into reaction, who is actually the one in control? Mm. You know, Epictetus said, it is not a thing. It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgment about them. So, when we recognize this is the one of the most powerful insights ever given, is the moment you judge their response, you judge their even intention. See, the disturbance is not what was said. It's not even the other person. You were the one who allowed the disturbance. The disturbance is in your participation. See, and this is difficult because to accept at first, to recognize that in all circumstance, you are the one responsible for all your emotions, feelings, responses, and all things. Because the mind wants to say, but they were wrong. They raised their voice. They sounded firm, but they disrespected me. But they lied. Yes, I get that. And still you choose to enter it or not. Why does it matter what they think? Why does it matter what their world wants to make up about you? You know, there's this old story. A man approaches a sage and begins insulting him, calling him names, attacking his character, right? Trying to provoke him even. And the sage remains silent. Hello. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, and this sage sits there, it doesn't say a thing. And this man all of a sudden sitting there going, what the heck, man? Why isn't this dude? I'm insulting him. I'm making a bunch of noise. I'm doing all kinds of things. Why aren't you responding? And the sage replies, so, question, if someone offers you a gift and you choose not to accept it, well, then who does the gift belong to? The man goes and says, well, to the one who offered it, of course. So the sage says, then I do not accept the insults. See, that is mastery. Not suppression, not weakness, non-participation. I choose not to participate. The Gnostic's teachings, there is a deep understanding of illusion. See, that much of what people call reality is actually distortion. Ego, identity, false certainty. You know, the unaware mind is not seeking truth at all. It is seeking confirmation. You know, and this is why arguing rarely works. It's a waste of time. Because you are trying to bring truth into a space that is not even oriented towards truth. And it ain't even listening. You are trying to wake someone up who is committed to live some fantasy dreaming world. And here's the deeper realization. Truth is not forced anyways. It's actually recognized. It just happens, man. See, truth is more powerful than lies and BS made up by anybody because the truth is always solid and sits there and rises in the end. It is recognized. You are not elevating them. You are lowering yourself into the same field the moment you decide to go and force your truth onto them. See, let's bring this even into science. Life seems like there's more questions than answers. Well, I think there's tons of answers. I think that we end up looking for the answers and we go out to go find the answers when the answers are right in front of us to discover. But anyways, let's bring this to science. Your attention is one of the most powerful forces in your life, right? See, neuroscience shows that what you repeatedly focus on strengthens your neural pathways. So if you constantly engage in conflict, you condition your mind towards conflict. If you repeatedly react, you wire yourself for reactivity. And over time, this becomes your baseline state. This is why some people feel like they are always in tension. And it's not just what's happening around them, all right? It's what they have trained themselves to engage in, engage with. So when we say protect your energy, this is not spiritual language only. This is neurological reality. So now here's one of the deepest traps: the need to be right. You know, because it's disguised itself as truth, but often it is ego. So you don't actually need them to understand. You need them to agree, and when they don't, you push harder. But truth does not require force. If something is true, it remains true without defense. What are you trying to protect? Now let's be clear. This is not about allowing disrespect. This is not about silence out of fear. This is about discernment. There are conversations rooted in truth, and there are conversations rooted in ego. One leads to clarity. The other leads to chaos. Wisdom is knowing the difference and having the strength to walk away. So in the next time you feel the pull, that urge to correct, to defend, to engage, pause. Take a stop moment. And then ask yourself this one thing. Is this truth or ego responding right now? Is this clarity or reaction? Which one am I walking in? Is this worth my peace? Because the strongest person in the room is not the one who wins the argument and speaks loudly. It's the one who never needed to enter it in the first place. Life is not about speaking better. It's about remaining anchored, still, clear, undisturbed. And when you learn that, no fool can reach you, because you no longer are available for chaos. And that's the power. That's strength. Recognize what you hold. So peace and love.